on patrol in a primeval forest in Poland. Two environmental activists are inspecting the trees in BOLEWSKA National Park. AUGUSTYN MIKOS and his friend WOJCIECH are looking at both healthy and diseased trees.
All this is natural forest growth. It's very old, more than 170 years. This forest wasn't really ever managed by humans. It's followed the rules of nature over the course of thousands of years.
Decaying trees are occupied by thousands of birds, insects and other creatures. This is Europe's last ancient forest and a UNESCO World Heritage Site.
This woodland is vitally important and invaluable. It is the only place I will be able to show my children what primeval forest looks like. That's why I want to protect it.
A little further on, there are deep furrows in the forest floor. Huge harvesters were deployed here and a clearing created in the middle of the forest.
More than 100 hectares were cleared. The devastation is pretty well advanced, as you can see here.
The forest authorities say the clear-cutting is necessary to combat a bark beetle infestation. Logging quotas were tripled last year. There's some dispute about where exactly trees can be felled. A group of environmental advocates living in this house are dedicated to protecting the forest. For months they have been staging actions to thwart logging efforts. There have been some tense clashes.
Activists sitting on the machines were often removed by force. It was pretty dangerous.
I tied myself to the frame of a harvester, and one of the guards climbed up and stood there for about an hour talking to us. There was less and less space, and I was afraid I'd slip off. They turned me over on my stomach.
There's a steady stream of young people coming and going to help with the protests. They stay as long as they can. Protecting the forest is their mission.
The forest is dying, and has been for a while, but there's so much logging that it can't recover. The politicians aren't thinking about the future.
Forest rangers say the trees are being cut down to protect the forest. Otherwise, the bark beetles will irreversibly damage the fir population. So the diseased trees must be removed.
This area posed a danger to people visiting the forest because trees were falling over.
That's why trees along the path were cleared. The forester says the forest will renew itself. The logs are stacked at the side of the path. The forester denies that profit is the real motivation for the logging.
We earn some money with it. We are state property, and sure, the state receives revenue, but only small amounts.
GRZEGORZ BIELECKI says this interference protects the forest. The activists see things differently. They want to prevent all interference with nature, and they condemn the fact that 100-year-old trees are being felled.
This marking says the trees are over 100 years old. The European Court of Justice has ruled that it's illegal to cut down and remove firs like this.
Opinion in the village of BOLEWSKA is divided. Some are for removing the trees. Others say, leave the forest alone.
It's okay to clear the forest. Otherwise, we have to get our wood from far away. It's better than letting it rot.
Why are they chopping down trees and destroying our ancient forest? I was born here, and I'm against it.
Nature conservationists, locals, and forest rangers. Each has their own idea about how best to serve the forest of BOLEWSKA. The two environmental activists are shocked to see felled trees in Europe's last primeval forest, and they will continue to fight to protect it. They believe this Polish forest can contribute to fighting climate change.